Wednesdays, where we talk about the Los Angeles Rams. I'm your host, Teo Time, your Canadian Rams fan. And woo! We got a lot to talk about today, folks. Take that music ever so gently. I appreciate you being here. Whether you're watching live or on the replay, you are appreciated, you are valued. You would make me a minor character in your story today. Thank you all for tuning in. We have a lot to cover in today's show. We're going to do the Rams radar to go through a bunch of headlines about the Rams because there's a lot. We're going to talk about the draft. We're going to talk about the Behind the Grind that just premiered like an hour ago. That was awesome. And on the Rams YouTube channel, we are going to talk about so much stuff. And of course, if you have any questions or comments or hot takes or anything about the Rams, put them in the comments because I want to hear about them. And for those that are new to this show, welcome. This is the show that's on Wednesdays where we talk about the Los Angeles Rams. And I kind of have segments planned out, but I want to hear from you, of course. And in between the segments, I do my best to interact in the comments. But you're all just amazing individuals, so thank you so much. Let me start off with a couple of shout-outs. We got AG, hey, pay to the yay to the L. Oh, that's good. I haven't heard that one. That's cool. All exotic soy sauce, hello. Canada, more like Ramada? Ramada. That's it. Okay, interesting. I heard that. This is interesting. I'm doing good. We got I Like Dogs here. Good to see you as my friend. Ricardo getting strong. We got Jared in the house. SM asked the question, whose house? Rams house. You know it. Jared, there is you know what? They've surpassed all expectations already. So they lost game one last night, sadly, but hopefully they rebound well. Byron Gray, hello. Good to see you. And with that, you know what, guys? We're going to get right into this here. It is time for – let me get that drop ready. It is time – let me get my background ready. It is time for the Rams radar. All right, the Rams radar is live. I got 3 minutes to get through as many Rams headlines as I can. There's a lot, but I've picked out the ones that I think are the most interesting to me. And I feel like a sneeze is coming on, so that might kill some of my time if I sneeze at some point during this. But let me start the timer. All right, first up, the Rams bring in 24 undrafted free agents and 14 draft picks. That brings the Rams roster to 82 players. They entered the NFL draft with only 44 on the roster. So the Rams HR department, once again, I'm sure they're working overtime. Behind the Grind, which is a behind-the-scene kind of docu-series that's on the Rams YouTube channel. Episode 1 of 2023 did premiere. Later on this episode, going to give my thoughts about that, but very exciting to get a little window into the Rams, behind the scenes of their offseason. Sean McVay praises new Rams quarterback Stenson Bennett, saying he's a natural thrower of the football. He can play with great anticipation, throws the ball with accuracy, plays within the timing. And it seems like Stenson Bennett has become one of the more criticized picks for the Rams, which no doubt will be a point of conversation for the entire offseason. But Stenson Bennett did respond in his own press conference, said he's excited to work with Coach McVay. I don't know much, but I hear he's a genius, Bennett said via Pro Football Focus. And Jordan Rodriguez of The Athletic reported some within the Rams organization felt teams were pretending they weren't as high on Bennett as they really were. So sort of some mixed messaging in the pre-draft mind games that get played. McVay did talk about this roster turnover, and he said, we got a lot better in terms of depth on our football team. McVay said Saturday, now these guys come in here and earn their opportunities. So, opportunities that some of these rookies are going to get to start, week 1 of next season, which is rare in the McVay era. On that note, the Rams drafted the most players in the 2023 draft with 14, just one shy of the record set by the Vikings in 2020. Also, via Jake Ellenbogen, it is confirmed that Lions called the Rams during the draft about trading for running back DeAndre Swift. The Rams declined, and Detroit ended up moving him to the Eagles. So excited for Jake getting to do that and all the hard work he's putting into. And finally, the final headline I want to talk about is new Rams wide receiver Puka Nacua. I always mess up that last name. It's the CU, sorry. Nacua said he is excited to learn from Cooper Kupp and everyone in the wide receiving room. And no doubt he is a player that has some high upside to him. When you watch his highlights, you think this is a person that could kind of model his game after Kupp in some ways. And this has been the Rams Radar. All right, let me get my background up and go here again. I love doing the Rams Radar. I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, let me get back to your comments before I get into my next segment. We got Craig. Hey, what's up, Craig? Good to see you, man. What's up? We're just talking about some Rams. And football. And I Like Doc says, do you think Aaron Rodgers trade will be like the Russell Wilson trade where the Jets get hyped but just to suck? I don't know. There's the potential for that for sure. I really don't know. It's too soon to tell. There's definitely some similarities, but there's also some differences as well. And the one similarity that's concerning is Nathaniel Hackett, who was the head coach. Now he's the OC, but him and Rodgers have history, so I don't really know. Hey, E-Money, good to see you. Nifty, I just like all the negativity towards Stenson Bennett. He is way better than Wolford and Perkins. I'm excited to see what he can do. You know what? That's an interesting point there, Nifty, because, we're people that in general would most Ram fans watch this channel, I would say, would always cheer on Wolford and Perkins, even though, there were criticisms there for sure. But Stenson Bennett, he's played in some big games and definitely has more of a resume than Perkins or Wolford did coming into, an NFL team. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. E-Money said, I love this draft. McVay went trenches this year. Yeah, the Rams definitely dug a lot in those trenches for building their roster, which I'm excited about. Ron Duffney, hello, good to see you. Okay, thank you. Wow, how did I miss that? Okay, the Rams Ramdar. Ooh, I like that. Okay, you might see a rebrand then. That's really good, the Ramdar. Oh, thank you, SM, for welcoming everyone to Rams Wednesdays. Crossing my fingers, Bennett can give hopes for Rams. I'm someone who I knew about Bennett. Just I passively follow college football, and I saw some of his tape in Georgia. But there's something that gets me excited about a guy who he really doesn't seem to care what anyone thinks about him, right? And he's probably one of the most criticized college football quarterbacks from this past 2 years. And yeah, there's something about him that I can get excited about as a backup quarterback for sure. I love the Steve Aliva pick. This guy is going to be nasty. I hope Russ is going to be be good our guards for the future. I would love it. I would love it. Schedule gets released on I think so. I'd have to double check. I feel like you've been tracking that more than I have. I Like Dogs. Monsieur Stenson Bennett will be solid. I like it. Okay. All right. Well, let me get to my first segment here that I want. There's so much to talk about with the Rams here, but before we talk about anything, I wanted to talk about something. I want to talk about the Matthew Stafford Jared Goff trade. It's now complete. So let me just share my screen here because sharing is caring, as I always say. And this is something that I really think it would be, just smart for us to remember. Sometimes it's easy to forget about this, but this is kind of a historic, time when this Matthew Stafford trade is now complete. Anyway, this is by our good friend Cameron De Silva, friend of the show from the Rams Wire, and he said, "It took 2 years, but the Matthew Stafford trade from 2021 is finally complete. The deal, which sent Stafford to the Rams for Jared Goff and 2 first-round picks, as well as a third-rounder, was completed in the 2023 draft after the Lions used the final picks from that trade. Neither team should have any regrets about this swap because it's worked out for both parties. The Rams got a ring, and the Lions are already looking good coming out of this roster rebuild in the post-Stafford era." And he just does I'll do a quick breakdown here. So let's remember that. Always remember. So the Rams in the trade, we did get, this beautiful, Lombardi trophy. But we also got Matthew Stafford, of course, that helped us get it. And he kind of breaks down about the Rams quarterback situation and, the benefits that Stafford brought to them and how they were able to win it 1 year after the trade. But he talks about what the Lions have received. And they said they got Jared Goff, who's a stable starter for them. They got a cornerback. I can never pronounce this name. I've tried, and I did the whole Google pronunciation thing, but it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. There's so many syllables. My apologies. But they got a cornerback in the 3rd round. Jameson Williams, who's a first-round wide receiver for them. Josh Pascal, Jamal Gibbs, Sam Laporta, and Broderick Martin. So a defense tackle, a tight end, and a running back, another D lineman, and a wide receiver, and a cornerback. And so he goes on to say, the Lions clearly did well to maximize the quantity of players they got back for Stafford. Not only did they find their starting quarterback in Goff, but they turned the 3 picks they received into 6 more players by striking trades on draft day. They didn't trade the pick used on Maluf, but all of the other selections made were after trades in the draft. They used the Rams' first-round pick in 2022 to move up for Williams, acquiring the 12th pick and 46 in exchange for the 32 and 34 and 66. They then used the 46 picks on Pascal. So anyway, that just is important for Ram fans and Lions fans to remember, is that trade is now complete. And as fans, we often have the conversation, hey, who won the trade and things like that. This might be a situation where both teams legit won the trade. I know I don't miss those draft picks. I will always treasure the Super Bowl. And don't get me wrong, I know that you can have that conversation of like trading the farm in the future. But I don't know if we win the Super Bowl with Jared Goff as our quarterback 2 years ago. I'm thankful we made the trade for Matt Stafford. And ultimately, I'm going to be interested to see how these players for the Lions play out. But also, Stafford's career isn't over. And I feel like a lot of people forget that because he was injured last year. Stafford just looks healthy, to start the offseason. You see him slinging, and he looks strong. He looks ready to go compete. He looks ready to go win some games. So let me know in the comments below. What do you think? I think you really can't gauge who won the trade till, a year or two later after it's fully complete. But personally, I'm a big fan of winning the Super Bowl. And the Lions have not yet made the playoffs. I know that their roster was going through a rebuild. So I feel like this is also the first season the Lions are going in with some expectations. And if those expectations aren't met, then you're going to see a lot more criticism on this trade on terms of the Lions.
Thank you very much.
All right, let me get back to your comments here. Where did I leave off? We got, we're free of dead cap. Free. We're free at last. Free indeed. We are. Yeah. No, the Rams are gonna have so much cap space next year. It's gonna be awesome. Michael, hello. Horns up. Good to see you, my friend. Respect to the Goffinator. Okay. Yeah, no. Absolute respect. Yeah. I've been hooked into the Stanley Cup playoffs for weeks already. I'm sad the Kings lost, but the Leafs advanced to the second round. The Bruins flubbed. That Bruins upset was crazy, Michael. Crazy. Yeah, no, absolutely. And go Leafs. No regrets for getting Stafford. We got us a ring. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Do you have an early Super Bowl prediction for next year? You know what? Don't think I'm pandering to you. I like dogs because I know you're a Chiefs fan, but I'm saying Chiefs Rams. I'm going with the homer pick. Rams 6th round selection of running back Zach Evans praised as draft steal. Thank you, SM. Yeah, for saying that. Yeah, I saw that, and I think there was I forget where I saw someone like they messed up the name at some point with it. So, but yeah, I saw that. But that's not uncommon for a late round running back. I feel like every year there's kind of that element to it. But I'm excited about it. Yeah, hey, I as a Canadian, I'd be okay with it. That'd be so fun. I don't know if Americans would like it, but Jared, I'd be okay with it. I'm totally here for it. You're predicting the Lions versus the Bengals? Oh, come on. Oh, we'll see. All right. Well, it's on the internet now. I like dogs. You got receipts. If that happens, it's here it is. You can come and you can screenshot this. Craig said the Stafford. I don't know if that's how Craig talks, but the Stafford trade was definitely a win-win for both teams. The Rams were peaking talent-wise and needed a trigger man to seal the deal. Goff has rebounded well. Yeah, absolutely, Craig. Well said. I think that's a good take. I think the Super Bowl could be Rams and Jets. Oh, nifty with the nifty hot take. Oh, there you go. Sinjin, you're too kind, my friend. Thank you so much. For the $5 super chat, Sinjin, that is so kind of you. I never asked for super chats, but I always appreciate them. But yeah, definitely going to keep grinding. How happy are you with the Rams draft picks? I'm really happy with it. I am really happy with it. I think this is a draft that they built in the trenches. They got some players that can come in and contribute right away. I know that there's always criticisms out there, but I like the fact that they went for quantity over, I shouldn't say quantity over quality. They went for quantity, but in that quantity, there's definitely a lot of quality. But in general, I couldn't be happier about it. I think the Rams knew they had some things they needed to do, and yeah, I was really happy with it. But thank you again for that $5 super chat, Sinjin. Hello, Gary Trent Jr. Good to see you. Thanks for being here today. Robert Rochelle and Darian Kendricks got to step up because there's a new corner next year. Yeah, this Rams secondary is so mysterious. I'm so curious to see what happens. So curious, yeah. I prefer NFL. Yeah, no, I grew up in a football family. I enjoy the NHL. I enjoy sports. I don't follow NHL the same way I do football. I don't try and pretend. But yeah, I definitely around like playoff hockey. I love it. I love playoff hockey. Yeah, absolutely. I think Higbee is going to have his best year so he can get paid next year. Yeah, we're going to talk about players getting paid next year. But yeah, Higbee is definitely someone that's interesting from a paycheck perspective. The Rams were going utterly. The Rams were doing underratedly good at the draft. Yeah, absolutely. And E-Money, thanks for bringing this up here. It's a true classic tee, looking fresh. Gotta get it. Yes, thank you. And so everyone, just again, friendly reminder. So thankful for true classic tees. For a limited time, I believe, for the month of May. So I think 2 more weeks. You can use the promo code PAYOTIME to save 25% off True Classic Tees. And this is my just one ad break of the episode here. You can see me freaking out. So I'm wearing one right now. It's so comfortable. It's awesome. I'm not someone that's big into clothes shopping, but their website makes it so easy. It's literally you go on, clickety click, make your pick and you buy some clothes. The pants are really comfortable. The shirts are awesome, whether you have a t-shirt like this, or maybe you need a polo shirt for something a little more business casual. But I'm telling you, True Classic tees are awesome. I don't endorse anything that I wouldn't buy myself. And so that's my my little hype for True Classic tees. So if you're looking for some new clothes, some new duds, upgrade the wardrobe, definitely check out True Classic. It's a good it's a good deal for you. And you can save 25% until the end of May with promo code PAYOTIME. All right, let me get back to it. So imagine a Super Bowl is the Lions versus Bills. Neither team. That'd be crazy. I just hope the Stenson Bennett can do good for Sean McVay's system. That's the hope. And if there's one thing that you like about him, he's someone that he rises to the occasion, right? Like he's got a real underdog story to him, and you like that. Yeah. Yeah, got that. Hey, Johnny's, you got that bit. Yeah. Rams addressed the positions that were needed. Hope they all turn out to be quality and rise to the moment. Yes, absolutely. Oh, thank you, Sinjin. That meant a lot for the city of Toronto and for Leafs fans everywhere. But yeah, well fought series. Yeah. Do you have a fave NHL? I do. I am a Ottawa Senators fan. They've been really hard to cheer for recently. So I would lean more towards them. But as a Canadian, I am someone that I want the Stanley Cup back on Canadian soil so bad. It's been so long. Probably not a surprise, but the 14 picks made by the Rams over the weekend were the most by an NFL team for the 20. Yep, absolutely, SM. Yep. All right. I've caught up on the comments, which means I'm going to take a swig of water. Cheers. To everyone out there, going to keep my thirst quenched. And I want to bring up, you know what? I'm going to do this next here because this is fun. Okay, guys? I'm going to be fun. And I pointed tab, but I wanted to briefly talk about this on Rams Wednesday. So let me bring this up because Sharon is caring. So I posted this on my community tab. I purposely did this the same day, but I scheduled the community post here. Okay, so 4 weeks ago, I posted this, and I said, after the month of March, how would you grade Les Snead and the Rams front office this offseason so far? And as you can see, here you got 4% people said A, 42% B. 22% C, 17% D, and then 14% said, F, this front office is failing. And this is after, the Ramsey trade, Leonard Floyd walking away, Bob Wagner walking away, all the free agents walking away. But then I purposely posted for the day after the draft, pretty much the exact same, kind of poll, but just I updated the date where I said, after the NFL draft, how would you grade Les Snead in the Rams front office this offseason so far? And it went up to 34% said they crushed it. So that's a 30% increase. And I know this could be different people. This isn't the most reliable statistics. There was only 100 votes in this one. There was, I think, 114 in this one. I get it. But, when you're a small YouTuber, you take what you can get. I'm honored 100 people would vote on my polls. But just I love seeing that little shift in there. The 54% gave it a B. The C, D, and F are all shrink significantly less than what they were, especially that C going down from 22 to 6%. I just think that's so funny. And if you look here, I'm just going to point this. So it's going over to ourlads.com, and they we make sure they're running. No, I don't want that ad. Oh, sorry, there's an ad here. I'm going to skip that ad. If you go to ourlads.com, I love they kind of update what the roster could be like here, and all the ones highlighted in green, these are rookies. And it's funny because here on offense, like they kind of have that first string. Steve Oliva can be left guard, and Logan Bruss, who missed his rookie year because of injury, but he's in there as well. But then you got in the second string, you got some players there. But then you scroll down to the defense, and Byron Young, he is kind of in a spot where he could start there. But then you got lots of rookies here on the defensive side of the ball in the second and the third string. And if you think that's a lot of rookie, go to the special teams unit. And currently, the entire special teams is all rookies. Now, again, that could change. We don't fully know what's going to happen with that. And I'm not convinced that Rasheed is ready to be that full-time free safety. He might be, but that's anyway. Just some things I thought was interesting to kind of point out there, and I'm excited to see what happens with this Rams team. And I think there's reasons to be hopeful. The fun thing about drafting young players is young players can develop and get better. And I'm hoping that, with the Rams 14 draft picks and 24 unrestricted free agents, that we can find some quality players here today.
Thank you very much.
All right. Wildman Samurai. Hello. He said, Rams crushed the draft. Keep rolling, pale horns up. Dude, thank you so much for that $5 super chat. Again, I cannot thank you enough. I never ask for super chats, but I always appreciate them. They do encourage me. They do very much help the channel. That try and make small improvements to get a little bit better each and every time. So appreciate this so much, Wildman Samurai. I know you've been one of the OG subscribers for a long time, so appreciate you, man. Okay, let me get back to your comments here. Who do you think the Chiefs play in the home opener? I like dogs. I'm not sure. I think it'll be a playoff team. One of the teams of playoffs. Maybe they do a Chiefs Chargers game right away. I don't know. It'd be interesting. I know it'd be a hard time having a divisional game week 1, but you never know. Snoopalicious, yeah. Well, and there is word on the street is that Ryan Reynolds is buying the Ottawa Senators, so that would be exciting for them. That'd be exciting. What do you think the max and minimum wins the Rams will get next year? Yeah, great question, Nifty. I think minimum, I'm gonna say 7. I really think 7. Maximum, I'm gonna say 11. Yeah, 7-Eleven, and not the convenience store. But yeah, that's kind of where I personally right now. That could change, when you see how the roster looks, when you hear what's coming out of camp. I do think this is going to be a team that people sleep on, and they're going to be better, and they're going to win some games that people don't predict them to win. Yeah, we didn't get yeah. Oh, sad day. Cheers out there. What could have been, we all wanted but I forget where he went. I think he went to the Vikings, so I wish him nothing but the best. Still one of the greatest names in the NFL. All right, yeah, have a good time at work, Michael. Thanks for being here. Horns up. Yeah, he essentially, like, conditioning wise and recovery, like, he's got that, but yeah, you're right. Essentially, he's a rookie. Yeah. You think the Panthers can win the NFC? I think they can. I think if there's one division in the NFL that's wide open, it is that NFC South. I'm not a gambling man, but if I was, I'd be, picking either the Panthers or the Saints to win it. And I kind of give the slight edge to the Panthers. But anyway, just because I like what they're doing on defense. And I also think Frank Wright is a great head coach. Speaking of the NFC South, will Carr elevate the Saints again? Yeah, I'm so curious because the Saints, they've had this elite defense for years. And since Drew Brees, they've just really struggled at that quarterback position. But does Carr bring the stability they need? I think they could be. I think it could be, yeah. So like I said, I think it's going to be between the Saints and the Panthers for that division, but that's kind of where I'm at. My friend, a Colts fan, thinks Bryce Young can make the Colts good. What's your opinion on the Colts? Do you mean Anthony Richardson? Because I think there's a big chance that Anthony Richardson can make the Colts good. One of my best friends is also a Colts fan, and I appreciate hearing his perspective. And I think for the first time in a while, the Colts have really kind of had to strip their roster down in a different way than the Rams are, but they're kind of ready to make some moves, make some adjustments, and kind of change the way their franchise operates. And when they got a new head coach, they got a new quarterback, those are the type of things that happen, right? And they still got Jonathan Taylor, and Michael Pittman's no joke either. But they got to sign Pittman, yeah. Is the NFL big in Canada? Yes. There are many NFL fans in Canada. Sometimes it's selective of where you are, but yes, there's lots of football fans. I love talking footballs. I don't find many Ram fans. I think I've only met like 2 or 3 true Rams fans in Canada. Where I live, there's a lot of Bills fans. There's a lot of Patriots fans. There's a lot of Giants fans. There's a lot of Cowboys fans. There's a lot of Lions fans. Just because I live on the East Coast, kind of near Toronto. Pero, what are your updated breakout rookie contract play? Eamon, I still need to dig into this. I am a big fan of what the Rams did in the draft. In terms of breakout players, the rookies, I like a lot of what we've seen here. You know what? Here, let me bring up. I'll share this here because sharing is caring. This is a great article by Rams Showcase on his website here, Sheriff Joe Baggs, and he kind of does a deep dive into each and every pick. So he talks about Steve Oliva. I like him at a TCU. If you go, I think Byron Young at a Tennessee, probably my favorite pick of the early rounds for the Rams. Because that edge, anyone who's been watching my channel the past couple weeks knows I was on the train of edge needs to be addressed early, and Byron Young is us addressing edge early. Kobe Turner on the D line, excited for him to learn from Aaron Donald. I'm excited about Stenson Bennett. He's our backup quarterback, so I am excited to see if he can sling it. I expect we'll see him in the preseason, so that's something to definitely look forward to. Nick Hampton, our outside linebacker, I feel like still kind of a developmental player, but excited for him. I'm excited for all of them. That's not a hot take. What am I talking about? But Warren McClennan in the 6th round. And then we got Davis Allen, the tight end, a big boy, right? Big boy. You got Puka Nakua, excited for him for BYU. Trevarius Hodges Tomlinson. And again, I don't provide expert analysis like some people, like Jake Ellenbogen does a great job of talking about it. He's well more researched than I am, but I'm a fan like you that I see these players, I look up highlights from them, and I would say that I'm really excited, that he's I believe he's the nephew of LaDainian Tomlinson. So Tre'Davious Hodges Tomlinson, really, really pumped about him. I know Jalen Ramsey spoke highly of him. So again, at a TCU. Ochen Mathis from Nebraska. I don't know a lot about him. I'll be honest, I haven't looked up that much on him. Zach Evans, I have looked up. He's got some highlights out of Ole Miss. If you want to see some a running back who can get the grimy yards, check out Zach Evans. Yeah, absolutely. Punter Ethan Evans. I love a punter with if their first name and last name have the same letter, that's a fantastic punter name in my books. But yeah, and I looked him up. He is from a Division II school in Wingate. It was really funny when during the draft when his name first came on the board, and the NFL Network didn't have a school for him, but then they quickly fixed it, and I heard in his interview, in his press conference, that he's the second player ever drafted at a Wingate. So definitely a small school, Division II school, but congrats to him on getting drafted. And the guy's got a boot. He's got a boot on him. He can definitely he can send it a ways. Jason Taylor, excited about him. Another safety, add to this already mysterious secondary room. Defensive lineman Deshaun Johnson out of Toledo. Again, someone I haven't done a ton of research on. I know that there is a lot of hype for him and there's some excitement for him. So I expect him, get an opportunity to try and get in a rotation. I don't know if he sees the field this year. Yeah. Okay. We got through all 14 there. Yeah. So he's our Mr. Irrelevant, which you're always excited for a player with that chip on their shoulders. But yeah, so those are just I don't really have like a specific update of breakout candidates, but I'm excited for them all. I think we'll learn more in camp. We're going to hear the buzz about what, who's what, and we're going to get to see a lot of these players in the preseason, which I'm really excited about. He went to the Bucks. My grandfather was going crazy after seeing. Oh yeah, went to the Bucks right there. Oh man, yeah, seeing the name. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. SM, Peo, I have a question for you. When Will Levis started falling, did you consider the possibility of the Rams drafting him? Yep, I did. SM, I did. From what I heard, there were teams that were considering trading up into the first round to get Will Levis. I don't know if the Rams were one of those teams, but I had a suspicion Will Levis was going to go, early in the second round. And I'm okay the Rams didn't get him. But yeah, definitely like the thought crossed my mind. I was just really on the mindset of there were some other needs that the Rams need to address before they address backup quarterback. And from my research into the tier 2 of quarterback, I kind of felt like there were some other quarterbacks that the Rams could get later in the draft that would serve the Rams' needs well. So that was my take. Who are you most? Like I said, I'm excited for them all. Probably Tomlinson at corner is exciting to hear about. But definitely excited about Byron Young on the edge. Probably my top 2 that I'm excited about. But I'm excited for them all. Yeah, no worries, Nifty yet. Bryce Young is that yet. I think the Rams would have passed on Levis even if they're at 36. You kind of get that vibe. Yeah. Yo, Daniel, good to see you. Horns up. Good to see you. I hope that the Chargers don't make the playoffs again just to blow another lead. Give the spot to a competitive team to actually win. Oh, man. Oh, thank you, Sinjin. You're too kind, my friend. Thank you. Horns up. Yeah. Oh yeah, Byron Young has an incredible story. Oh, I've reread that and I've heard other people say it for like since the draft. I've heard it probably more than any other story. But yeah, working at a Dollar General and then going on to become a kind of a walk-on and get his opportunity that way, and then to be drafted by the Rams. Oh, I love it. Let me just take a swig of water here. Cheers. All right. Peo, do you think the Rams wanted Hendon Hooker at 36? He ended up being picked at 35. Yeah, I saw that because the Lions drafted him right before the Rams picked. I don't know. Ray, good to see you. I don't know. I think that it definitely had to have been a conversation, you think? But I kind of lean that I don't think the Rams would have taken him. I don't think so, but that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? If Hendon Hooker fell one more spot, do you think the Rams would have drafted him? Leslie's Needingham was cooking this draft. Yeah. Oh man. No, it was so fun. AG, let me just say this. It was so fun. And I know I said this in my 5 takeaways video. it was so fun being a Rams fan on day 3 of this draft because it always felt like the Rams had a pick coming up. Like when you looked at that little ticker on the bottom of the screen that goes by, there was like always the LA logo there, and you knew it was coming. And then it also seemed that whenever the Rams pick was coming up, they went to commercial break, and I was like, oh, Rich Eisen, come on, why are we going to commercial break again when the Rams are on the clock? It's so annoying. But yeah, it was a fun day watching Cook or watching Snead cook and do his thing. But yeah, no, it was a really fun draft if you're a Rams fan. Oh, sorry. I'm reading this here. Interesting. Okay. Nifty's saying, I'm a Notre Dame fan. I wanted the Rams to get Michael Mayer. Do you think we would have drafted him if he's still available? I really couldn't tell you. You know, Nifty, it's Nifty. Now I didn't realize you were a Notre Dame fan. Now I see why you like Ben Skoranek. Because he went to Notre Dame. I really don't know. I'm not someone that I don't claim to know the ins and outs of a draft room very well. I don't know where Mayer was on the Rams draft board, but I'm sure he was someone that the Rams looked at and there was some consideration. You think Rasheed Rice will be good? Remind me. Sorry. Rasheed Rice. I just got to remind me here. Yes, he was drafted. Oh, yeah, the receiver for KC. You know what? Kansas City knows how to draft wide receivers. I like dogs. So I think with Andy Reid and company there, I think you can be optimistic about him. For sure. I got to take one more swig of water. Cheers. All right. I've caught up on – I have another segment here. Okay, let me where'd you go? Yes, here it is. I want to talk a little bit more about this because I feel like this is something that we're going to be talking about a lot for the next little bit here. So let me share this screen because sharing is caring here. Going to go here. All right. So, legitimate chances to start week 1. This is again by Cameron DeSilva, the Rams Wire. And he says, the Rams have a large quantity of rookies on their roster this offseason, all of whom will be fighting for a roster spot. Obviously, some will have a much better chance to make the team than others. Steve Oliva, for instance, is a near lock, but the Rams will give each rookie an opportunity to prove themselves this summer. Looking at the Rams' 14 drafted rookies, Sean McVay sees at least a handful who could be starters right away. This is very different because we're not used to rookies starting right away in the Sean McVay era. They'll still need to earn that job, but it's good to see some confidence from the head coach in his rookies. And he said, here's my McVay impersonation. We got a lot better in terms of depth on our football team, McVay said Saturday. Now, how these guys come in and earn their opportunities, what that looks like, but there's a handful of these guys that are going to come in and have legitimate chances to be starters on opening day. But that's all going to be earned. The obvious candidate to start week 1 is Oliva. He was the team's top pick, and they have openings at both guard spots. Again, he won't be handed the starting job, but he has the talent to beat out Logan Bruss, Coleman Shelton, and Tremaine Ankrum. Byron Young, the edge rusher out of Tennessee, will get a chance to start early on too. Same with potentially Nick Hampton, and if Clemson tight end Davis Alice can develop quickly, he could become number 2 tight end behind Tyler Higbee. Travarius Hodges-Tomlinson might be a 6th-round pick, but given the Rams' needs at quarterback, he also has a relatively clear path to playing time in the secondary. As exciting as Rams rookies are, their second-year players will be competing for starting jobs too. Kobe Durant, Darian Kendricks, Daniel Hardy, Russ East, and Quentin Lake will be vying for more playing time, which McVay is looking forward to. we've got some guys that are in-house that we expect to take steps in the right direction, especially a handful of those guys that are going into their second year that got their feet a little bit wet as a result of the amount of injuries, he said. And so when you look at it from a positive lens, I think it'll be a good thing, but we're a much more competitive football team by the nature of these 14 players. That once again came in from Cameron Silver of the Rams Wire. And I am excited to hear, this kind of talk. I think that if the Rams roster was going to get overhauled the way that it is, we need new playmakers. We need new star players. We need new players to develop. And I'm excited about Ernest Jones. I'm excited about Van Jefferson this year. I'm excited about, a lot of the second-year players that were mentioned in that article. But there is something about getting, those rookie unknown players that are going to have an opportunity to start. I'm excited about it. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about all these rookies potentially getting a big opportunity with the Los Angeles Rams? Do you think that they should start right away, or do you think, hey, no, you got to earn it. You got to be a backup first for a year, and obviously I'm assuming most of you are the same as me, as put the best player in.
Thank you very much.
All right, let me get back here. Back down. Okay. Davis Allen's had good hands and moved well in the combine. Hope he turns out to be a great tight end. Yeah, I hope so. He's a big boy. Warren McClendon from Georgia was my favorite. Okay, yeah, that's cool. SM. That's a great favorite pick. Ben Skronik is from my hometown, went to my favorite college, and is now on my favorite team. If he becomes good, he'll be one. That's nifty. That is so cool. I'm happy for you to have that with Ben Skronik. That's cool. Benny Sko, yes. Hey, AutoCon, good to see you. That you transformed and rolled in here. If the rookies get cookies. That's funny. Oh, he was practicing with Mahomes before. That's cool. Oh, thank you, AutoCon. Appreciate it. Sean McBabe about to get a second ring. I hope so, Johnny G. I know you're in the same camp as me. As you believe he can. New Atwell is 522's new nickname, Big Two. That is. That's a nick. I'm not ready. I like Chugga Tutu better myself, or the Tutu Train. Oh, it's too funny. All right, I have one more thing I wanted to talk about on today's show, and this is my reaction to the new season of Behind the Grind on the Rams YouTube channel. And if you don't know, Behind the Grind is kind of an in-depth look. I shouldn't say in-depth, a behind-the-scenes look into the Rams offseason. They don't share anything too crazy or anything like that, but it is cool to see a couple of the highlights that I just made note of here. And again, I encourage you to go watch it. It's on the Rams YouTube channel. If you like the Rams, it's definitely something you want to check out. But so the episode opens at 4:30 a.m. with Sean McVay driving to work and getting things started. Then there's a scene where they're cleaning out Allen Robinson's locker, and there's a voiceover of Les Snead as he talks about the remodel that's happening in the Rams organization. He expands about that, and they kind of talk briefly just over voiceover about the Stafford and Donald retirements. And they don't specifically talk about that, but you see Stafford at an LA Kings game in his opening press conference. You see Aaron Donald. He's at a youth football camp, which is really cool. One of the highlights is there's a conversation between Rams defensive coordinator and Rams secondary coach Raheem Morris, and then Aubrey Pleasant, and their conversation was really cool. Raheem praises Les Snead and McVay's relationship and how that's something he's jealous about, and he and not in a jealous way, as in like that's something he wants to strive towards and he appreciates. Ernest Jones gets highlighted along with Marquise Copeland. They show them fighting in an MMA ring, training, but also their press conferences as well. There's a pretty large segment devoted to Van Jefferson and Cam Akers together, and it's interesting that they feature Van and Cam as fourth-year players, playing for a contract, but it showed them kind of making each other better, racing against each other, which was really exciting. They briefly feature strength and conditioning coach Justin Lovett, where he just talks from the training facility about kind of the onboarding process and trying to gauge what players have done on their own as they start to get into the offseason program. Then there's they talk with Mike LaFleur a little bit. That was probably one of the more interesting parts of it because he again talks a lot about Van Jefferson and a lot about Cam Akers. So I found that interesting. Briefly talks about Stafford there as well. And then Sean McVay, the episode ends with Sean McVay with this epic locker room speech. And I'm sorry, I have one picture here I want to show you as I talk about this. I forgot to upload it. Sorry, let me just upload it. But he talks about he says how you need to learn from last year, make last year a positive. And I really appreciated what he said in that regards, and just hearing him talk about acknowledging what happened last year, make a positive out of it. And he kind of yells at his team like, you will be thankful for last year. That's not a quote, but it is along that lines. And then he talks about, he said something about, he addressed the roster turnover, and he said to, his crowd here, and this is what it looked like here. And I'll break down this picture in just a moment. And so he's talking to his players, and he's saying how you might not know about this guy, saying that they don't have necessarily many household names on their roster, but they want next year to be asking the question, how could you not know about this guy? And again, I'm not quoting verbatim there, but I'll say, if you look at this picture here, you see McVay, looking jacked as always, getting hyped up. And after his speech, I wanted to go run through a brick wall. I just want to say it was awesome. Definitely one of the highlights of the episode here. But look at this back corner over here. And I thought this is interesting where it says, I'm assuming football philosophy, a little bit is cut out there, but it says, number 1, it's all about the ball. Number 2, situational masters. Number 3, fundamentally sound. Number 4, attacking. Number 5, effort, burst, plus SP. I'm going to guess that's speed, but I just thought this was a cool look into the Rams meeting room. It talks about, be present, we, not me. If it turns to the front, I don't have it in here, but it does say like one rule, be on time. And I really enjoyed this premiere episode of Behind the Grind. I'm going to react to it every weekend on Rams Wednesday just because I love it. I'm excited for it. I love that I get to get a little bit of a look into what the Rams organization is doing. So let me know if you're watching Behind the Grind. What do you think about it? It's a fun thing if you're a Rams fan. It really is.
Thank you very much.
All right. Let me see here. Okay. Yes. Back to Tutu's new. Yeah. Should I watch it? Yeah, I strongly encourage you. I strongly encourage you to watch it. Yeah. Yeah. Ethan Evans is your favorite pick, our new punter. Okay. Hey, I love the name. Love the name. Yep. Love that name. Juju switched to 5. Didn't know that. Thank you. Yeah, no, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, I don't follow the number switches as much, but yeah, I saw that Tutu switched to number 5. It's going to be weird. Yeah. SM, it is going to be weird. And yeah, we missed Ramsey a lot. Yep. Ray, this is from F them picks to harvest them picks. Yeah. Craig says, I like our draft class an awful lot. Leva looks like a stud, and I like Zach Evans. I think he'll surpass Kyron Williams and push Akers. Interesting. Okay, well, Craig, it's here on the internet. You got receipts. We'll see. If I can, I will. If I can, I will. I like dogs. If I can, I will. Absolutely. Will this trailer be played at SoFi, do you know? If so, I can't wait to see it versus the Cardinals, hopefully. I'm not sure what you mean by trailer. I'm not sure what you mean. But, like, Behind the Grind, like, the show Behind the Grind, there was a trailer for it, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago. And the first episode dropped today, which is cool. Do you think McVay will retire after the season? I don't. I think he's committed to being here for a while. I don't want to say forever, but for a couple more years yet. My only question offensively is who will be our solid, consistent number wide. I think you mean number 2. I think that is a good question. And I'm, there's a reason that I really like Van Jefferson. I really do. Seeing Allen Robinson go, with kind of a bad taste in his mouth, I understand that. But I think Van Jefferson can step up. I think he's healthy. He looks great. He looks healthy. He looks strong from what we've seen just in the volunteer team activities. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know what we're talking about? Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. No, it wasn't the season trailer yet. I do. I do. It's still too soon to tell because you always need 2 or 3 years after the trade's complete. But yeah, we'll see. How many days until the schedule gets released? Let's find out here. NFL schedule. I don't know off the top of my head, but it's set for May. Ooh, it didn't specifically say what days. Is it May 12th? I'm looking at here. The NFL, okay, according to ESPN.com, the NFL is targeting May 11th. So that's really close. That's really cool. I'll try and go live for it. That's exciting. Yeah. Oh, that's cool, Adokon. Cool. Yeah. I wish would play on a holiday like Christmas and Thanksgiving. Hey, you never know. You might get your wish. You might get your wish. Well, everyone, this has been fun. It's been fun. We are going to end off the show here. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Again, save yourself 25% if you need some new duds. Check out True Classic Tees. And I'm excited for this Rams rookie class, not just the ones drafted, but also the undrafted free agents. And as we get into the off season and we watch Behind the Grind and we watch all the content that's coming, there's going to be so many exciting things with this team. So thanks so much for making Rams Wednesday part of your day. And of course, as always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams! Woohoo! Let me just do.